Okay. Plan for production. Right. So, the plan for production has to have what? Say that again. It's got to have what?
The considered stages of production in the correct sequence, realistic timescales, and deadlines for the scale of production.
Okay, so it's got to have time scale within your plan. It's got to have a sequence within your plan. Right. How have we dealt with this in the past? How have we planned time in the past? How have we graphically presented time planning? Has anyone actually presented it in any kind of way? Do you remember what it was called, Lauren? Right. So you're going to do a Gantt chart, okay, and you're going to divvy it up per hour. Yeah? I think it asks, I'm sure it says in the mark scheme, it asks you to do specific timescales. So you do need to make sure that you've divvied it up by the hour. Okay? So, as part of this folder of work, we need to have a time plan. Right? That's tick that box. The other thing that Miriam said was, it was your plan of sequence of events, right? So, in the past, Clive, how might we present that?
For the production plan.
Yeah.
We said what products?
Okay, well, anyone. New kid. How did we do, right? At your other school, how did we do production plans? Did you do one?
I think so.
Okay. Did you do that classic, you did the production plan after you've made it and changed the tense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Okay, that's what everyone does. And we're going to do the same again, probably. Okay, how did you present yours?
We just had a table.
Okay.
And we put the thing we did.
Yeah.
And then wrote sort of like a paragraph.
Yeah, fine, okay. So you did it in a table form. Did anyone do a flowchart type one? Right, Nicola. So how did that manifest? Like a flowchart? No, go on, no. But how did sort of try and explain to me how it looked? Right, let me just remind you. So you are going to do a flowchart for this, okay? So you will need to look at flowchart symbols. In its simplest way, right. Let me just do a very quick kind of reminder, and actually you might have done some of this in IT, because I think when you do programming, you possibly do sort of flowchart stuff. So some of this will actually be familiar to you. Right, you're going to have to do the correct sequence. If we do the flowchart after we've made it, I don't care, actually. If you want to do it like that, that's absolutely fine. For the love of God, make sure that you get the tense right. Yeah? It's future tense. Okay? Because it's what you are going to do, not what you did. You meant to plan before, yeah? So, start, stop is always in this overlay box. Processes are in rectangles, okay? And then decisions, okay, are in diamonds, but they have to include this feedback loop, whereby if the answer is no, for example, it can return up the flowchart and carry on, and so on, yeah? So, for example, it could say, yeah, sand edges, okay, is the finish good enough? Yes, carry on. No, sand edges, yeah, it could be that, okay? There's another space that we're going to use that in, but as we go through the mark scheme, it'll unravel beautifully, and you'll see the purpose of this, okay? Right, so thus far, to tick the two sentences that Miriam read, we've got a time plan per hour, and we've got a flow chart, okay? with correct symbols. Right. Next line. Look down. Oh, did she read that whole thing? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So, yeah, you read the makey bit. Top box. Yeah.
Demonstrate a detailed understanding and justified selection of a range of appropriate materials and processes.
Right. How are you going to do that in a piece of coursework? How are we going to do that in a piece of coursework? What's your name, my man?
Daniel.
Okay, Daniel. How are we going to do it? What would you do?
A diagram, like sketches, and then annotate them.
Sketches of what?
The product.
The product. Okay. There's probably actually we could do that in a more simplistic way. To tick the box for that, we could do this more simplistically. Okay. Table of what? Of what?
The range of selection materials.
Okay. Table of sort of materials. So, for example, okay, you're all going to make a box that looks like that. Yeah. We're going to be using Iroko for that bit, right? So you could have name of the material here, okay, and you could have Iroko there. What does it ask you to present? What information does it ask us to present?
Materials and processes.
Yeah, but doesn't it say you've got to justify why you've selected it or something? Yeah.
Justifying.
Okay, so it would seem sensible for you to have then another box that talks about why you've chosen this material, right? Okay, everybody's going to be using aluminium for this, so you're going to have aluminium, and then you're going to have reason or justification for using that, right? Okay, so that's another page. Right, Christy. Is it Christy? Christy, read the next bit, please. No, hold it, sister. Right. McDowell, how much did you read? Okay, so she's read the first sentence. You're going from demonstrate.
Demonstrate demanding and high-quality making skills and techniques.
Carry on.
Slow activity and precision by working with the right material.
Right. So, within the making, you've got to show variety of materials, processes and techniques, okay, which is why you are producing this out of aluminium using a lathe. You're going to be knurling it, which is an additional process. You have to produce the electronics, which is an additional process. You have to build this wooden box, which is an additional material and process. You have to have an acrylic lid, which is an additional material and process. Okay, so that's why we're making this project, because it ticks the boxes required for all the bits and pieces you've got to do. Yeah? Okay? Right, Daniel. Next line after Christy. Christy, did you finish that box? No, hang on. You're there. Yeah. So high level of, yeah? Go.
High level of safety awareness throughout all aspects of manufacturing.
Okay, so how are you going to prove that? How are you going to show that? How are you going to show the examiner you've done that? Fergus?
Is that like risk assessment?
It could be. Yeah, where would you put it? Well, where would you show the evidence of that you've been safe, or you've shown an awareness of health and safety? You have to present evidence that you've done that. So where can we do that? In the work that you send to the examiner, they need to be able to see evidence that you've looked at health and safety. How are you going to show that? Picture of it. So in your photo diary, right? There's going to be you goggled up. Okay. Yeah, that could be one. That could be one way. Where else could we include it? Defo. Yeah, because listen, you're going to be saying, yeah, you could.